Don't wear a work uniform on lunch, by user acrobatic_initial 997. Was working at a tire shop chain at the time. I had went to a Wendy's for lunch one day while still wearing my uniform. I like to sit down for lunch in there due to the fact there was AC and I didn't feel like sitting in my car. I'm minding my own business when this old lady walks up to me and asked me if I worked at said tire chain. I said yes. She then went on this whole tirade at me about how the tires she got were supposed to last 60k miles then but she only had gotten 50k miles on them and that she's going to complain to corporate that we scammed her and blah blah blah. I just kept nodding my head with a couple occasionally ahs until she started asking what my name was so she could give it to corporate since I was being unhelpful. I just said, lady, I'm on lunch, if you got problems go to my shop and complain to my manager. That somehow shut her up. She never did show up nor did we hear anything. Told my manager that story when I got back and he laughed and said, learned your lesson about wearing new uniform at lunch, hey. I moved a soda out of my way and put it back where it belongs. Obviously that means I work for QT, by user dabkita420. I am still utterly flabbergasted that this actually happened today. For anyone who is unfamiliar with the gas station brand QT, the employees wear red branded polos and black pants. I was wearing a black nightgown with cat faces all over it, black pajama bottoms, rainbow slippers, and a very messy ponytail that was half falling out, definitely not QT attire at all. Anyways, as I was blearily eyeing the sodas and trying to find the Dr. Pepper flavor I wanted, I noticed it was behind a regular Dr. Pepper that was in the wrong spot, so I moved it and retrieved the one I wanted. As I did, some old codger behind me started complaining about me taking too long to stock the sodas and why was I taking things that are meant for customers. I turned around confused and said, dude, I don't work here. He doubled down and told me I shouldn't be taking sodas meant for customers and if I needed soda that bad I should buy one on my break. He then demanded to speak to my manager. I told him the only manager I have is a 1-month-old baby and I don't think he'd have a very productive conversation with him. Then I walked away and paid for my drink while the old dude stood there looking confused. I don't think he ever actually got it through his head that I don't work for QT though. Why Karens behave the way they do, by user OK Classroom 4993. She sees you helping someone so she assumes you work there because no one helps her unless paid or forced to do so. She sees you put something back so she assumes you are restocking shelves because she never has to clean up after herself. She accuses you of lying because she herself uses lies to get out of work or trouble. She accuses you of being lazy because she herself is lazy. Wedding shopping equals stocking shelves, by user Columbia Songbird. I was shopping for wedding decor at a craft store. Picking what I wanted for centerpieces, putting things back that didn't quite fit the vibe. And all of a sudden I feel like I'm being glared at. I am. A woman is scowling at me and I realize she's been talking at me. Sorry, what? There's broken glass over there. I thought she was warning me or something. Oh okay. I'll be careful. More glaring. Well, aren't you gonna clean it up? She thinks I broke it, maybe? No, I didn't break it, or even see it break. It shouldn't matter. You should clean it up, and she gestures at the lanyard around my neck. It's important to note. My lanyard is definitely car keys. It's hot pink. Has a ridiculous stuffed animal keychain. There are car keys. And a bedazzled pepper spray. I am not wearing anything remotely similar to the employee's dress code. I'm wearing a sundress and sandals. Most employees wear khakis and a green shirt or apron. And a name tag. I tell her, oh, these are my car keys. I don't work here. But I just watched you stocking the shelves. Yes. I was putting these back because they don't match my wedding theme. I can't tell if she's doubling down or giving up, but she tells me she's going to go find a manager to deal with me. I saw her speaking to a manager but they never approached me, because I was not their employee. She found a manager who fired me, by user Stonomic. A few years ago I took my mother grocery shopping at the blue and yellow smiley face super center. Since I had to work the closing shift I was in dress clothes, unfortunately I decided to wear a blue button-down shirt and black dress slacks. As I'm walking down the aisle, an older woman, I'll call Kare for short, made a beeline to me and asked where the grape nuts were. I said I don't work here but I'm assuming it would be with the cereals where VE that is. By nature, she completely ignores what I have said and says take me to them or something to that effect. My 80-year-old mother said, lady, he doesn't work here. But true to her species she replied, it's obvious he does but it won't be for long. Then she stormed off. Mom and laughed it off and went about our business. Joking about what had happened. About 10 minutes later from the other end of the aisle we were on I hear a screech, that's the liar. And I see that all-knowing finger pointing towards us. Kare is standing next to what turns out to be the store manager. He storms down the aisle as Mom and I are getting those "I told you so" looks from Kare. Without a word from me he asks for my badge and yells, "You were late for the last time this morning and now giving bad service yet again. I'm tired of your foolishness. What have you got to say for yourself?" I said, I don't work here and BTW I'm management and I know who is and who is not an employee." I reached into my pocket and pulled out my work ID and flashed him with it. Mom said, "And you can keep your nasty food, I'll go somewhere else." By this time Kare was on the way to talk to the manager and as soon walked by flashed her my work ID and said, "You need to learn some manners." Then my 80-plus mom uttered a word I had never heard before. Mom looked here in the eye and said, "Your mom didn't teach you manners ya XXXX.